Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or as I like to call it, our little corner of the universe. I'm super happy to have you here. Can't wait to watch these clips with you. And of course, remind you that this is for entertainment purposes only. Let's keep it lighthearted. Let's keep it educational and fun. And remember to do your own research, climb down your own rabbit holes, and come to your own conclusions. And without further ado, let's get going.
Physical versions of Kanye. Just like there were 3 doubles of Saddam Hussein running around the country, so you would shoot them and not him. But were they really doubles, or were they reconstructed, patterned people?
The pony would call me. Just watch how they cloned me. The pony would call me. Just watch how they cloned me.
Reconstructed, patterned people. So when you look at Kanye here and you look at Kanye here, these are different Kanyes. The other thing I'm seeing is the level of electricity that goes through his brain. So there is the belief that when one of them gets out of service or out of sync energetically, they are shocked back into complacency and then taken away. This is where Kanye's energy is.
It's wild. Never heard that energy bit before. It makes a lot of sense. More and more of these celebrities or high-powered individuals are coming out and saying that they have different versions of themselves to do different tasks. And in a lot of cases, it seems like the only valid way that they're accomplishing so much so quickly. We all have the same 24 hours, you know? It's just, it does make kind of sense, and I hate that. But on this same note, if you guys have not seen Multiplicity, I believe it's from the 90s. It had Michael Keaton and Andie MacDowell, and it kind of touches on this exact same thing. It's a really good movie. You should see it. I will find out where it is, on what streaming service or whatever, and I will let you know. It's worth watching.
One of my like that, okay, and then I mix water and sand, doing small movements like that, as I like it, okay, and I get up. The problem is not the first leg, but the second. The first is okay, it's quite easy, but some people say, oh, I'm alive, yes, and they get up, and they pull on their ligaments, okay, the tendons and so on. So to get out, I must knee like that, put all my weight on my knee, all my weight on my knee, and this is hard, okay, and I must move my second leg as I did for my first, and I must knee again and get out, okay, and then I go out. But if I have quicksand up to my waist, it's very hard.
I thought this was quite cool, and I am not sure if you guys had this fear, but I had some sort of fear out of nowhere when I was a child of getting caught in quicksand and just like not being able to get out, and this really made me feel better about that. And I think you should tell your friends so none of us get caught in quicksand, because that would be horrifying, and there is a way out apparently. So you're welcome.
Good role model, you know, am I a good example for people on how to live their lives?
I'm not an example for people on how to live their lives, and never in my life would I ever set out to be an example for people on how to live their lives. If you need an example for how to live, then you just shouldn't have been born. Straight up. And I am a great role model because I'm only a role model for 2. And that's all. So won't you worry about yours and let them worry about theirs. I got mine.
Yeah, I don't know. He was. It bothers me a lot when people with platforms kind of I hate saying, not kind of. I hate when people with platforms misuse them. Use them for evil or use them for negativity, or they get so in their heads with their egos that they're just not kind to the people who got them there. I hate that. And this is, to me, this is so irresponsible, because you have an entire generation or more of people that are watching you and thinking that you're something to look up to, and this is the way that you're talking to them. This is not the way you speak to people to lift them up. That I know.
Cool. Whoa, holy shit.
Este es el cielo ahora mismo aquí en Paipota. Nunca había visto.
Oh, what the fuck is that? Y'all see that though, right?
Alright, man. We over here. And look, it's lit. The UFO's by the moon.
Man, somebody tell me what this is.
UFO by the moon.
So I'm outside on this beautiful night looking up here at the moon with my camera, and I want to show you guys something pretty interesting. With this long zoom camera, whenever you zoom in on the moon, look at all the detail that you can see. And they tell us that the moon is 238,000 miles away. But they also say the furthest we can travel is in low Earth orbit. So tell me, if we can only travel in low Earth orbit and the moon is 238,000 miles away, tell me how we went to the moon in the first place.
The Earth is flat, birds are government drones, and we've never set foot on the moon.
I can tell you at least a couple of those videos were Starlink. And if you've ever seen Starlink being launched across the sky, you will definitely think that it is an alien invasion, unless you know what to expect. When I lived in Maine, I was driving home and it was late at night after a particularly awful day. And I'm like, so my long time pet had passed away, and she was my baby girl. When I had my very first apartment, she was there, and she's my baby. So I was picking her up after having her. I was picking up her ashes, and I had her in the car, and I'm obviously upset. And I'm driving down this. Everything was basically a back road where I lived in Maine. So I'm just driving, sad. And then all of a sudden there's this, what is that moment? And all I could think was, why now? I know that's a terrible first thought, but like, I'm not in the mood for this at all. That's how desensitized that we have become with all of the overexposure of alien things, is that my first reaction was not, oh my God, do we have supplies? It's like, I really don't feel like it right now. That's wild. Hey guys, I'm interrupting myself for one quick second to remind you that I make these videos every single day. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, go on ahead and you can be the first to know when the next episode comes out, which will be tomorrow. So I also have to say thank you, because I want to. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Last I checked, we had 472 subscribers. That is, my brain does not comprehend. And I've gotten so much positive feedback from so many people. I mean, I just feel like we can do anything here. So I just have you to thank. And I want you to know how much I appreciate it. And I appreciate everyone who reaches out. It's just, I don't know, it feels nice. It feels really nice to be doing something that I feel is so good. So thank you for that gift. And we're just going to get back to it. Yes, we are.
See Part 45.
There is a conspiracy theory about Kardashians that in 1800s an ancestor of Kardashians sacrificed her soul to for witches, so that all the women in their bloodline would always have fame, success, and beauty. But on flip side, every man in their lives would suffer because of this.
This reminds me, I feel like I always have some sort of show or movie reminder, but I do. If anybody's ever seen Practical Magic, I hate to give away a spoiler, but it's very similar. I'll leave it there. But yeah, very interesting. What do you guys think? Do you think this could be true? I want the name, I want to be able to do my own research on this. I'm going to try to do a Kardashian heritage witchy deep dive.
I am lost.
So I'm gonna try and not have anything that's solely captions anymore, so it's not a thing and nobody has problems with it. But this was just kind of cool. She's a little girl who was raised by the most dangerous animals in the world. She was born to French wildlife photographers, and her playground was the vast and untamed plains of Namibia. From a young age, she formed deep friendships with wild animals and creatures that most of us would fear. Elephants, cheetahs, lions, and even crocodiles became her companions and protectors. Her best friend was an 11-ton African elephant named Abu, with whom she shared a unique bond. Did she just lick that bird? Did I see that? Her ability to communicate with these animals seemed almost magical, as though they recognized her as one of their own. The local tribes believed she had a special gift, calling him the child of the jungle. Local tribes believed she had a special gift, calling him the child of the jungle. Her. I thought that was pretty cool. Kind of like a real life Mowgli. Speaking of, let's go Disney. I think this is Disney. Can someone tell me what this movie is, though? Because I have never seen it.
Oh my goodness, sorry, excuse me. Help, I'm not done, I gotta get back. Oh my goodness.
I wish there was more. I need to know what movie this is so I can watch it, because what it's stating is that it's about the reincarnation soul trap once you go into the light. And what I perceive that to mean is that it's about going into the light and then being recycled back into another form to come back to Earth and do it all again. But I kind of do believe in that. And I believe that we have to learn and we have to grow every time around, and that there is an end game, but you have to earn it and you have to learn and keep going.
This video of his trip to Papua New Guinea. He encountered a remote tribe with a bizarre tradition to honor their elders. After they die, their bodies are sat here in a resting position, available for all to come and visit and to seek guidance. When you die, would you prefer to be put in a box in the ground or positioned like this for your friends and family to see?
I'll tell you this, family. If you're gonna prop me up, at least put some clothes on me. Don't just... Some of these people just seem like they're just rotting there. That's interesting. Very interesting. I wonder why. I wonder why this is what they do, where this originated from. Very curious about the way other cultures do things. We all should be, I think.
What looks like black mud. It's actually black gold, a rare dye with 1,000 years of history. This isn't just any color. It's so dark and rich that people once considered it magical. In ancient times, they believed wearing this deep, mysterious hue connected them to the night sky and the ocean's depths. This dye, called indigo, comes from a plant. The production process is fascinating. It starts as a green liquid, but when fabric is dipped in and exposed to air, it transforms into a deep blue. Interestingly, clothes dyed with this substance get darker with each wash. The garment becomes more valuable the more it's worn. Ancient civilizations around the world treasured this dye. They used it not just for clothes, but also for pottery and decorations. In some places, it was as valuable as gold. Even today, some artisans are keeping this tradition alive. In a world of chemical dyes, they're preserving this 1,000-year-old method. Would you be interested in adding some of this black gold to your wardrobe?
Definitely. That's really cool. I think it's interesting that you can purchase it in bricks or poundage. That's very cool. I wonder what some other uses for black gold is. I want to know more. Does anyone know about black gold? I'm very intrigued.
The Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them. Nobody likes them.
Remember how everyone was calling him crazy and a liar? Katt Williams has been given the title by GQ as the man who opened the portal.
Why would GQ be saying anything like that? Because I would assume that GQ is on the side of the artists and the people, or I don't mean the artists, I mean on the side of keeping Hollywood and whatever's going on there going. I would assume GQ is part of that. Kind of like a production company or anybody else who benefits from Hollywood. So if somebody comes out and ultimately disrupts that, why would they support that? And then it's all so fishy. I really believe there's not a single thing, I know I've said this before, there's not a single thing that they show us that they don't want us to know. We all think we're these great little detectives, and I'm sure some stuff is being unearthed, but I think they real quick cover that up. And I think it all just seems so unbelievable. And even the people that believe it are just conspiracy theorists or crazy. I don't know. There's not a thing I hear that my first thought is not like, okay, how is this contrived? Because it is. Once you fall down the rabbit hole.
And he claimed that this would be the year of truth.
These are the truths they hiding from you. I risk my life to tell y'all these truths. I'm gonna tell you another one they'll have me crucified by the morning. Watch.
Title below says the man who opened the portal. Now a lot of y'all gonna be like, oh, you overthinking it. Listen, I am a conspiracy guy. A picture's worth 1,000 words. He's been in them circles. He's never left it. He's a warlock.
They can't threaten me. I'm already scared. The fuck?
That's what I mean. He could be part of it. Who knows? Because doesn't it seem like people fall into some sort of, I like this term, planned obsolescence. You know, I hate to say it like this, but like Martin Lawrence, his show, I used to watch it as a kid. It was on TV, but then he disappeared, at least in my mind, for a very, very long time, and then came back and now has stuff to say or seems to be going through something where he's like crazy on the street, and now he's back. And it just seems like people disappear and then they pluck them back from their obsolescence to prove some sort of point or to be some sort of, which one would assume is because they desperately want to get back into the spotlight. So they'll be willing to do anything, including spread a message. They yada, yada, yada. This is what I mean. Conspiracies.
Because back in the day when they had portraits painted or pictures taken and you see just busts and you're like, okay, well, why aren't they showing the whole body? Because back then they charged for every arm and a leg that showed up in a picture. So when you hear the phrase, it cost an arm and a leg, that's where it came from, because that's what they charged, was outrageous amounts. So otherwise you just had your bust.
I don't know why, but for some reason, as she was explaining, I was expecting the end of it to be, some people just didn't have money, but they really wanted that portrait, so they would pay with an arm or a leg. But that would just be the worst life decision that you could possibly make. Very interesting. I love learning origins of things like this, though.
clone. Well, Seth, I can explain if you just calm down!
I have a clone.
When we think about these celebrities or stars, like in the Bible when stars are talking about angels, fallen angels as if they have lived before, y'all don't believe me, but these people have been around for a long time. In the early days, a miracle was not their start. These aren't doppelgangers. They have been here forever.
I have a clone.
Reconstructed, patterned people. So when you look at Kanye here and you look at Kanye here, these are different Kanyes.
I have a clone.
We found out that my trainer was a MK Ultra Canadian intelligence.
He worked in the defense research and development.
They tried to medicate me. I was exhausted. They wrongly diagnosed me, and they when I asked them how much lithium did you want to put me on exactly, it took them 4 days to answer because they were embarrassed.
I have a clone.
Why wouldn't they have just lied? But I know some of that was repetitive, but I thought it was along the same lines. So there are so many different theories and patterns and wavelengths of this whole conversation. Do you believe that the celebrities are cloned? Do you believe that these are doppelgangers and or masks? Do you believe that these are ancient people like this from different time periods who have just, you know, Edward Cullen'd their life through generations and they just know how to make it because they've been alive so long? What do you think? What do you think is up with this clone thing once and for all? Let me know. Here's a wholesome clip for you.
Oh my God, do you have Tourette's too? Oh
my God, do you have Tourette's?
Yes!
Oh God!
Please!
Please!
But I don't have fix!
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Meow. Meow.
I'm a cat. I respond to meows with flag.
Oh, Mrs. Claus?
No.
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 Just fingernails.
I'm so glad you have such a great attitude about it.
I just think the life is too short to take seriously.
Yes. Yes.
This is me!
I just love that. I know it might be an old clip, but oh my goodness, it's just a great reminder. And he's right. You should just scream, "This is me," every now and then and own it. Be who you are as long as you're trying to be your best self. And my favorite thing about this is how much they enjoyed this. That's what I enjoyed the most. And I hope you guys got some enjoyment out of it too. I hope they stayed friends. Well, that is going to be where I end it today. And I hope you are having a fantastic week. Today is Tuesday. Thank you to everybody who well-wished our Rusty back into health. He seems to be doing much better now. And I firmly believe that that's because of you guys and the positivity that you've put into the universe with us. So thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm wishing all of you the best for your health, your pets, your family members. I really am. And I wanted to say that I will have an episode tomorrow, and I'm going to try and film 2 tomorrow so that I also have one scheduled for Thanksgiving Day. So I know everybody's busy, and if you're not busy and whatever, I just wanted to be there in case anybody needs someone to hang out with. And on that note, I'm just going to say good night to you all. Good night to my family. Good night to my grandmom. I love you, and I will see you guys tomorrow.